Your bathroom is not a sanctuary of hygiene. It is a disguised testing ground for your biological endurance. You enter it every morning with full confidence that you are washing away all the sins and dirt of this world. In reality, you are turning your body into an object for dangerous biological experiments. For years, you have been destroying your natural protective barriers with the persistence of a maniac, growing colonies of microscopic monsters on yourself and calling it self-care. Today, we will break down 11 habits that are slowly but surely turning your health into ruins for your own hard-earned money. Habit 1. Cotton swabs are a sophisticated torture device that you use for the sake of questionable physiological pleasure. On every package purchased at your local CVS or Target, it is clearly stated, "Do not insert the product into the ear canal." Manufacturers are literally screaming at you through the fine print on the label. This product is intended exclusively for makeup correction or cleaning your keyboard. However, the thirst for forbidden ear ecstasy is always stronger than common sense. When you frantically twist this swab inside your ear, you feel as if you are trying to find a hidden reset button for your brain. The truth is that you are not practicing hygiene at all. You are working like a professional ramrod, methodically packing earwax closer and closer to the fragile eardrum. As a result, a dense plug is created, comparable in hardness to the concrete pavement on a high-speed Texas highway. Earwax is not dirt. It is high-tech biological lubricant and natural armor. It protects your hearing from aggressive fungi and pesky insects. By scraping it out, you leave your ear defenseless against the outside world, and you also risk permanently losing your hearing due to an accidental puncture of the eardrum. Habit 2. An addiction to scalding hot showers is a way to voluntarily cook your own tissues over a low flame. Many men prefer temperatures where the room fills with thick steam, resembling scenery from a dark thriller. You enjoy scrubbing your skin until a characteristic squeak appears. You mistakenly take this for the triumphant sound of absolute cleanliness. In fact, it is the death rattle of your skin, signaling a real biological disaster. This specific sound means the complete liquidation of the hydrolipid mantle, that unique protective layer. You are effectively engaging in aggressive degreasing of your own body, turning living tissue into dry and lifeless parchment. Hot water instantly washes away all natural oils, provoking the appearance of microscopic cracks and premature aging. Your skin begins to wither faster than the portrait of Dorian Gray. In a state of deep shock, your body triggers defense mechanisms, starting to produce an excessive amount of oil to somehow save the situation. Seeing this oily sheen, you begin to wash even more fiercely. This closed circle of ignorance turns you into something like a dried fruit. Habit 3. The ordinary loofah, hanging in the corner of your shower, is a biological weapon of delayed action. Take a close look at this object, which has not left its damp spot for the last few months. For you, it is a tool of cleanliness, but for millions of pathogenic microorganisms, it is a luxury resort. Every time you scrub your body, you collect dead skin cells on the mesh structure. They serve as an ideal nutritional ration for bacterial colonies. In the heat and constant humidity, this object turns into a powerful and dangerous incubator for mold. By using this accessory repeatedly, you are not cleaning your pores, but evenly distributing colonies of old microbes across your body. Leading dermatologists in the U.S. insistently advise replacing this accessory every 20 days, or switching completely to washing with your hands. Believe me, You are not mining coal in the pits of West Virginia, and you do not need daily abrasive treatment of your body, as if you were an old rusty pickup in the hands of a painter. Pity your skin and get rid of this breeding ground of infection immediately, before it rewards you with a skin disease. Habit 4. The ritual of rinsing your mouth with water immediately after brushing your teeth is an effective way to send your dental investments straight down the drain. We have all been trained to do this since early childhood. However, it is one of the most pointless rituals that you perform on full autopilot. High-quality toothpaste contains fluoride and minerals, which are critically necessary for protecting your enamel. For these components to actually begin the process of restoration, they require at least 20 minutes of continuous contact with the tooth surface. When you immediately take in water and rinse out the foam, you remove all active substances before they have had any chance to bring benefit. This is equivalent to applying expensive sunscreen to your face before heading to a Miami beach and then immediately diving into a chlorinated pool. You are simply destroying the result of your work. Dental associations around the world urge patients to simply spit out excess paste without using water at all. The strong taste of mint is a tiny price to pay for maintaining the health of your smile and the total prevention of cavities. Habit 5. The constant use of antibacterial soap is a dangerous experiment in creating supervillains of the micro-world right on your palms. The modern marketing industry has convinced us that the world around us is teeming with invisible death. We frantically destroy any microflora, believing that we are creating a fortress. However, in practice, you are engaging in harsh selection, similar to natural selection in the wild. Standard products do kill 99% of bacteria, but the remaining 1% is a real elite special forces of the micro-world. By destroying their weak competitors, you free up vital resources for the most aggressive strains. As a result, you grow populations of superbacteria on your own hands, which are absolutely not afraid of household antiseptics. Ordinary mild soap, combined with warm running water, handles dirt just as well. It simply mechanically removes dirt particles without declaring chemical warfare. Excessive sterility in the home does not protect your family at all. It only professionally trains pathogens. You are preparing them so that one day they will knock out your natural immunity. Habit 6. Turning the toilet into an impromptu co-working space is the surest way to chronic vascular problems. For many Americans, a trip to the restroom has become the only legal opportunity to spend 15 minutes in total solitude with a smartphone. You excitedly scroll through videos, ignoring the suffering of your anatomy. The design of a modern toilet absolutely does not allow for prolonged sitting on it, as the edges of the seat create the effect of a medical tourniquet. This effectively blocks normal blood flow in the area of your hips and pelvis. Blood, under the pressure of gravity, rushes down and begins to stagnate in the veins. This resembles dirty water in a stagnant swamp somewhere in Florida. Hemorrhoidal nodes at this moment overflow and swell, preparing to turn your life into an endless series of pain. Proctologists from major clinics constantly remind that the toilet is a place for a quick, functional pause, not an office. Any stay there for more than 5 minutes is a voluntary consent to future serious health problems. No newsfeed is worth discussing your intimate problems with a doctor later, in an extremely uncomfortable and humiliating position. Habit 7. The habit of holding back a sneeze for the sake of etiquette is an attempt to arrange a local explosion inside your skull. You are in a major meeting at the office or in a quiet movie theater. Trying to maintain the image of a polite person, You tightly pinch your nostrils with your fingers and close your mouth. At this moment, you are committing an act of biological sabotage against your own head. The speed of airflow during a sneeze exceeds 100 miles per hour, which is comparable to the power of a Category 2 tropical storm. When you block the natural exit for this hurricane, colossal pressure is redirected into internal cavities. This blow falls on the eustachian tubes and delicate eardrums. In U.S. medical literature, frightening cases are described where such politeness led to a ruptured larynx or damage to small vessels in the brain. Holding back this natural reflex is just as dangerous as trying to plug the barrel of a gun with your finger. Habit 8. Fanatical and aggressive toothbrushing has nothing to do with real hygiene and resembles instead industrial metal grinding. Many men approach this morning process with such fury as if they are trying to scrub years of carbon deposits off the engine of an old Ford F-150 pickup. You buy a brush with maximum stiffness and apply force to it capable of bending a steel rod. If after this execution your gums have not started to bleed, you mistakenly believe that the cleaning work was done well. However, this is an act of vandalism against your enamel. Enamel is considered the hardest tissue in the human body, but it is absolutely incapable of biological regeneration. By scraping it off with harsh impact, you expose the sensitive dentin. This inevitably leads to acute pain during every contact with cold lemonade or hot coffee from Starbucks. Habit 9. The use of dry toilet paper is one of the grandest delusions of Western civilization. We fly into space and split atoms, but in matters of personal cleanliness, we continue to use the methods of the Dark Middle Ages. It is physically impossible to completely remove organic contamination by dry friction. It can only be evenly distributed over the surface and rubbed in even deeper. Let us conduct a simple experiment. If a gift from a pigeon lands on your arm in Central Park, would you simply rub that spot with a dry napkin until the stain disappears? Obviously, you would run to find water and soap. But in relation to our own backside, for some reason, we completely ignore this elementary logic. Constant mechanical impact with dry paper provokes microscopic cracks and severe irritation. A bidet, or wet toilet paper, is not a luxury at all. It is the basic standard of cleanliness for the 21st century. Habit 10. Shaving against the direction of hair growth is a conscious act of masochism for the sake of short-lived smoothness. You enjoy the feeling of perfectly clean skin when you run your palm across your cheek. To achieve this temporary result, you cut the hairs below the level of the epidermis, damaging the upper protective layer. However, after just 2 days, your face inevitably turns into a disaster zone covered with red spots and pus. In fact, you have encountered the natural process of an ingrown hair. The hair, cut too deep, cannot find its way to the surface and begins to grow in the opposite direction. Your immune system instantly reacts to this process as if it were a dangerous foreign body. As a result, instead of the image of a confident man from a commercial, you get a face covered in pustules. Shave exclusively in the direction of hair growth. Yes, it will not be as perfectly smooth, but the skin will remain healthy. Habit 11. Clipping toenails down to the root with deep rounding of the corners is a guaranteed pass to the surgeon office. Many make this mistake, trying to give the nails an aesthetic appearance or to protect their socks from premature wear. You deeply cut out the side parts, crudely violating the anatomical trajectory of the growth of the plate. By this action, you personally create all the conditions for an ingrown nail. According to the laws of medicine and physiology, the nail on the big toe should always be square. When you remove the natural protective corner, the soft tissues of the toe begin to joyfully grow over the empty space. As soon as the nail resumes its growth cycle, it crashes into this soft flesh like a heavy tank. This causes wild pain and severe inflammation. It all ends with surgery at the doctor and long, painful treatment. Leave the corners alone. Let your nails look straighter. Take care of yourself.